everyone, my name is Eleanor and this video today is going to be about manifestation. I want to talk to you about things that no one ever tell you about manifestation and why it's important to do. I have some tunes on in the background, so I'm actually going to lower down the music. But I love African beats. It's one of my favorite tunes to listen to. I am Caribbean, so I love listening to this type of music because it makes me very happy. And I also feel like for some reason I'm always getting closer to my ancestors with it, because you can move your hips with this type of with these types of songs, and I think that's important. But anyway, let's get to the nitty gritty and let's actually get to this video that I want to talk about. And this is going to be again about manifestation and what people don't tell you about manifestation. So before we get into what the topic is going to be about today, I actually want to read off the definition of what manifestation is. Manifestation is an event, action, or object that clearly shows or embodies something, especially a theory or an abstract idea. The action or fact of showing an abstract idea, a symptom of a sign of an ailment. And then this also says, what is the meaning of manifestation? Is a sign of something existing or happening. She claimed that a rise of unemployment was just a further manifestation of the government incompetence. So I've literally never ever seen manifestation like said as that in like that type of definition before. So that was like, it's no lie, that is like very new to me. So I'm not even gonna say anything about that. But in my terms of manifestation is like essentially manifesting something that you want in your life, meaning that you're gonna use your thoughts, your actions, your vision board, whatever the case, to actually bring to fruition what is in your head into a place that you can actually physically touch and see. So some people may manifest, like they may have a manifestation journal in which they like write about the, like if for example, if you're trying to manifest a partner, you're going to write down all the qualities you want your partner to have, and essentially you're doing that to manifest said person. So like you have a vision board to manifest the things that you want to bring to you in the 3D world, and you'll do those things, right? And that is very, very cool because manifestation is very fun, especially if you know how to do it the right way. But here's the thing. I am a very spiritual person and I believe in manifestation, and I believe that some manifestations could come true like this with a snap of the finger. But what happens is that as a person, you want your biggest manifestations to come true. And normally biggest manifestations for people are going to be being in a relationship, like manifesting your husband or said partner. In terms husband or partner, or like I'm always going to speak in terms of husband or partner because I consider myself heterosexual and I'm attracted to men essentially. So whatever you may like be about it, but I'm more likely trying to say partner in this video. So you'll try to attract your partner by writing down certain qualities that they will have, whether these be personality qualities, qualities in terms of physical qualities and stuff that you're looking for. So that is what you do for manifestation. You can even go drive a car because you're like trying to manifest a car and trying to get what you want, have a vision board, and so on and so forth. So that is all about manifestation. And like now, so this definition says manifestation is the act, process, or an instant of manifesting. So I did all these things so that way I can communicate a lot easier. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to be on the same page with y'all. So I'm telling you my definition. I read some definitions online. And again, the purpose of this is to communicate effectively so that way we're all on the same page. And it's like the video is understanding for a whole group of audiences and not just people who are spiritual. So the reason why I want to talk to this about today is that as I was saying, a lot of times we want our biggest manifestations to actually come true. And the big one could be finding our partner, getting our dream job, getting our dream car, getting our dream house, like essentially those things. And like maybe it's becoming a well-known content creator and you're trying to manifest that into your life, or trying to become a micro influencer and trying to like get people to follow you. Woo! So this is just a side note for this video. If I yawn, cough, fart, sneeze, burp, those are usually confirmations, and that's like spirit speaking through me. So that's what happens. But anyway, everyone always want to manifest like the really big things in like what they want. That's what people really want to do. And so I see a lot of people on social media and they're like, I'm going to help you manifest your dreams, and I'm going to help you do this, I'm going to help you do that, and whatever the case may be. You see this on YouTube, TikTok, pretty much anywhere. I've done so many things that I've seen on social media to help me manifest the things that I want. And I'm here to tell you manifestation actually does work. But the thing is that manifestation will work for the small things that you want. And this is when spirit comes into the manifestation. This is what people don't tell you. If you don't do the work, as in shadow work, if you don't do work on yourself, if you don't do those things in order to actually attract what you're manifesting, it's going to be harder for you to actually get there. Sorry. It's going to be harder for you to actually get to what you're looking to get to. I'm sorry. So spirit, I like to say spirit is my pimp, and spirit is also the man that breadcrumbed me, but I keep going back to. And the reason why I say that is because spirit will always breadcrumb you. Even when they're giving you messages, they're not telling you the whole shebang. They're not going to give you everything in like detail from time to date to everything. They're going to give you breadcrumbs because they need you to stay on track. They need you to stay on the route that you're on. So they're breadcrumbing you essentially to keep you on the path that you're meant to be like kept on. I'm sorry, y'all. I just want to like move back a little bit. So they're keeping you in that space because they're like, well, if I tell her everything, then I basically can't get what I want, or she might go on the wrong path. And so that's why in terms of like when you get a reading, sometimes ignorance is bliss. Like sometimes not knowing what's going to happen is really blissful, because if you get so attached to the idea of what you want, you're actually pushing it further away. Excuse me. So for example, if like you get a reading, and I'm always going to do this in terms of like partnerships because I feel like it's the most easiest for people to understand. I got a reading. I got a tarot card. So let me pull out some cards right now. And if I have a client, my client is going to say to me, hey, can you tell me about my love life? So I'm going to be like, hey, spirit, can you tell me about my person's love life? Spirit, can you tell me about Stacy's love life? Right? And Stacy's asking about Sean. Spirit, can you tell me about Stacy, Sean? I'm shuffling cards, whatever. And boom. So I get these two cards. I get the Magician in reverse. And then, which is funny because the Magician in tarot is actually the card about manifestation. And then I got the Five of Cups. So now my client and I are talking and I'm like, girl, Sean is like, you're manifesting. Your negative thoughts are essentially manifesting a way that you're going to be walking away from this situation. So now she's thinking about it and she's like, my client could be like, I'm doing all these things or whatever. And she's walking away from the situation. And so now it's like, she's sad about it, but she's so attached to the outcome of this is that she's not realizing because she's attached to it, she's actually manifesting this outcome. My purpose of saying that is that spirit will give you a breadcrumb because you don't always have to stay on the path that you're actually on right now. You're born with a multitude of timelines. You're not born with a straight and narrow timeline. That's not how life works. You're not born with something that's like, if I have this piece of paper, and I'm going to just rip this piece of paper right here on the edge. Your timeline is in this like straight and narrow path. You know, your timeline, what's going to happen is, like, let's say you're walking and you decide to pivot. So now this timeline is no longer on this because you decided to pivot and change, and now you're on this timeline. And now you're just walking, and you created a new timeline for yourself. And that's like why I always say to people when you get readings, time is like a human construct, and time really is like a circle. And that's why spirit is able to see everything, because the past, the future, and the present is actually all happening so simultaneously that it's really in the now. And that's why spirit will say to you, be in the now, be in the present, be like aware of what's actually happening right now. So it becomes a lot easier when you are in the now and when you are in the present, just to stay focused on what you actually want. And that's why I will always encourage people to be like, just be aware of what actually is going on, and don't be so like fixated again on what you think is happening. So now going back to manifestation. So you can manifest both good, and you could also manifest what's bad in life. The thing is that when spirit is breadcrumbing you and they're telling you bits and pieces of what may happen in the future, they're not telling you this because they like this is expectation. Because remember, spirit is also, you are also guiding yourself. Your higher self is up there with your other spirit guides, and you're guiding yourself, and you're telling yourself, hey girl, like this is something that we need to do, or whatever the case may be. And so it's helping you kind of like your downloads, you're getting your messages in terms of this is the things that you need to do. So when these things happen, and when you're manifesting, and when you're trying to draw these things in your life, it's important to remember, if you're not doing the work, because I'm getting back to the work again, if you're not doing the shadow work, if you're not being communicative, if you're not doing any of those things, you're not going to be able to manifest what you want. Because spirit is not a genie. It's not rub on a bottle and then ding, like I dream a genie and I get the wish of what I want. You actually have to do work behind it. So if you want to be a content creator, and like for example, I'm a content creator and I want to become more of a micro influencer, and I want to do all those things. I didn't just wake up one day and be like, I want to be a content creator. I had to learn how to do work in the 3D side of it, because they have my back on the spiritual side. So they're going to take care of me, meaning like they can put me in the room with people who are already micro influencers or big influencers and tell me like, okay, this is going to work out for you so you can like start to network. They're going to do things like that for me on the spiritual aspect. On the 3D aspect, I have to do my work. I have to do my due diligence, because spirit is not a genie. Spirit is not a genie. Spirit is going to tell you what it is, how to do it, when to do it. They're going to give you the clues and all that stuff, but you have to do the work yourself. If you want to lose 100 pounds, like I have lost 100 pounds at one time. I wanted to lose the weight, and I kept, crying. I want to lose weight. Like, God, please help me lose weight. I had to stop eating certain things, stop having certain beliefs about my weight, and I had to work on that myself. And on the spiritual aspect, spirit helped me. Spirit helped me because like fat is biologically fat is here to protect you. So if you're a very, very heavy person, on one hand, you can be heavy because you need to be heavy because of certain like gifts that you have. Like you could be a medium, so you need to be a little bit heavier. And that's just a part of your genetic makeup. Or sometimes you have to, like, sometimes you are trying to protect yourself from sexual trauma, so you gain a little bit more weight, and you're trying to protect yourself emotionally, and that's, you have fat coming on. So in that case, it's like spirit is going to help you heal from the wounds that cause the fat to actually build up. And it's important to remember, doing the work will get you to your biggest manifestations. And until you do the work, it's going to be very hard for you to actually manifest a permanent of what you're looking for. It's more permanence, because you're not manifesting, like you could do the quick and easy stuff, and you want the easy stuff, you want it like really fast if you're trying to manifest. But people want security. So if you're looking for security, stability, consistency in your life, you have to do the work in order to get the blessing, because spirit is not going to bless you with something that you have the possibility to lose. And why I say that is that if you are not doing the work, you're not doing your shadow work, you're not paying attention to what spirit is saying to you, you're kind of being resistant, then there is a very well possibility a shadow part of yourself can jeopardize your manifestation and you to actually lose it. I got a ding on my phone and I'm taking that as a confirmation. So when this happens, it's really important to be mindful about doing the work so you won't lose it, because unless it's already in your soul contract to lose it and to come to have a come up again, because some people lose everything in order to understand the value of who they are, to understand the worthiness, and they lose it because they're going to gain it back, and that's all within their soul contract, and that's all within a lesson that they have to learn. But what people don't tell you is that you have to do shadow work to get your biggest manifestations. You have to be consistent. You have to surrender. And it's not just about surrendering to what you want to surrender to. You have to surrender your life to spirit. It's about surrendering your body. Now it's what they want to eat. Another ding on my phone. You these things. You have to just do it. And it's not you don't pick and choose. I love to eat chicken. I love chicken. I love chicken. And as of right now, spirit asked me to give up chicken. Then at one point, spirit was asking me to lessen my sweetness in my tea, because I like to put a lot of honey in my tea. So spirit was asking me hey, we need you to take a step back and not put so much honey in your tea, and to give up sugar. Then spirit asked me okay, you can't eat any meat now. So I stopped eating pork. I stopped eating beef. I stopped eating chicken. And I'm not eating these things anymore. And spirit was if you keep eating these things, you're not going to get your messages as clear. So we need you to be able to, you're a vessel, and we need you to get the messages as clear as possible. So these are things that spirit is actually going to do. And it's not funny, but it's just people won't ever tell you the work behind it. And if you're not prepared for the work, then don't manifest it. If you're not prepared to do the work for the $1 million to become the influencer that you're looking to become, then don't manifest it, because you're not prepared for that. And don't be mad if you're trying to manifest your partner, your dream partner, and you meet a bleep boy, if you meet a bleep girl, don't be mad, because spirit is only preparing you for the best. You can't have the best without knowing and understanding the worst, because if you have the best without understanding what the worst was, you very well can lose it, because you're well, he's a really good guy, but the sex isn't good. Or he's a really good guy, but he snores. He's a really good guy, but he's a really good guy. Sorry, I don't know why. That's weird. All right, he's a really good guy, but he's too tall for my taste. I like men who are a little bit shorter. The list can go on and on and on, and hopefully I get that. But and then you end up breaking up with him, and then going out and being wow, he was really the guy for me. This person was my life mate, my partner in this life, and I really messed up. Spirit's not going to want to see you sad. So they're always going to push you to be better, much like a parent that will push you to be better. And they're never going to tell you the full outcome, because in a moment, and I got a ding for that, because you can change the outcome. There were so many times at one point in my life, I was getting constant readings. I got a reading, and I was supposed to be married 3 years ago in the summertime. And I got that reading, and I was oh my God, I'm about to be a wife, blah, blah, blah. And I was so attached to it that I started pushing that outcome further and further away. And things were happening that I just was I'm so happy I dodged a bullet, because I never actually really wanted that. I didn't want that. So I was actually manifesting something that I didn't want, and I didn't realize the full circumstance of what I was looking for. And then I unmanifested in my life. So then I went back to the same reader, and she was like, you just switched timelines. And I was like, what? And then that's when I started to learn about timelines. That's when I started to learn that, like, if you get a reading from a reader, it doesn't necessarily have to be true, because you can switch the timelines. You can really change your life. And I'm not saying that it's going to prevent the reading, but there's going to be certain different outcomes. Like, if an event is supposed to happen, it's going to happen, but it's the bounce back. And why I say bounce back, it's like what you did once that experience happened that propelled you and pushed you to be better. Those are the things that actually matter. That's what matters. It does not matter about like the event. It's the what do you do after the event. So this is what people don't tell you about manifestation, is that you have to do the work. You have to do the work in order to get the manifestations that you want. And when you do the work, it's going to be a lot easier for you to have more stability in your life with the manifestations that you had. And you also have to understand, if there's a lesson attached to what you're seeking, there's some things that you have to learn. So for example, if you're looking to be a content creator and you're looking to be a micro influencer, Spirit is going to prepare you to have thick skin in order for you not to be hurt if someone says you're ugly, you're fat, you're stupid. Spirit has to give you, like, create that thick skin, so you're not going to be hurt and run off and start crying, or being like, you know what, maybe I didn't want to do this because of other people's voices. So whatever you're seeking, they're going to make you so strong in what you're seeking that you may have to experience the negative first. And it's not saying that your manifestation is not happening. It's happening, but it's not happening when you expect it, how you expect it to happen, because they're not going to give you the glory without experiencing, like, coming up from the mud. Like, you got to work in the mud first to experience that glory, to experience what Spirit has for you. So, like, I personally, when I was close to 295 pounds, I was so heavy, and I kept begging to lose weight. And it took me months, and I lost 100 pounds. And losing the 100 pounds, it made me feel a lot better. So when people were making fun of me at my heaviest, and when people now call me fat, I don't care, because I'm like, I was heavy anyway. I look fucking good. I remember where I came from. So it doesn't bother me now when people call me those things. It's just like, you know what? Hey, it is what it is. And maybe I am fat to them, but to me, I'm fucking sexy. I look thick. Like, I am a thick girl, and I love it. So these are the things that I had to, like, learn, and a part of losing weight helped build my confidence and made me feel a lot better, versus me gaining weight and then feeling like I had to lose the weight. So I was always heavy. I lost the weight, and I felt really good about myself. And what that also created, it made me feel like no matter what, even if I gain weight now at my size, it's not a challenge for me to be like, okay, I know what to do to lose it. Because it was a lifestyle that I created. And yeah, sometimes I can fall off. Maybe I'm too busy. Maybe I'm getting stressed. Maybe I'm like, you know, I'm happy, so I'm eating a little bit more, and I'm just like, you know, chilling, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So these are things that can happen. But I know, because of my past experience, I know exactly what I need to do to get back on track. And it's a lot easier. So, and it's more achievable like that because I have this experience. I also understand that it's important for me to do certain things, and it's also understanding that it's going to take patience to get the things that you want, because it took me time for me to actually see the weight that I was losing, because I was always looking at myself in the mirror. I was always like, oh my God, look at my body. But I was so focused on what was happening that at that point in my life, Spirit would send people to come up to me and be like, wow, you look really good. You lost a lot of weight, because I wasn't witnessing what they were witnessing inside of me. So be prepared that as you start manifesting the bigger things, that there might be really bad relationships that you might go through, really bad friendships, friendships, romantic, platonic, workships, because your purpose, your pain can become your purpose, and that could be very well be a part of your life mission. So spirit will, send those things, and it's not because they're trying to punish you. It's because you matter, and the things that you're going through in life is going to help somebody else, because it's not just about you. You have a whole soul family that needs you and that needs your help. So you going through these things is only going to help push them to be like a better person, and also for them to have it a lot easier than what you went through, because your pain is your purpose, which leads to inspiring them, because your pain, your purpose, is now creating a cheat code for the people in your soul family. So it's a lot easier for them to go through things, and they may not have to go through the lesson, which may, cause them to take a lifetime to learn. And I had to learn that as well, because when people would tell me things to do, and I would get so upset, that I started learning that their mistakes is my cheat code, so I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to learn that lesson. And when I took it to that, it was a lot easier for me to elevate and to just ascend a lot quicker, because I told my ego to shut up. Like, I told my ego to shut up. And I guess the point of this video is to tell you that yes, you can do all those things about manifesting and doing it, but if you're not doing the work, it's going to take you even longer to get to your goals and your vision. And yes, there are certain manifestations that come a lot quicker, a lot easier, but it's happening because spirit wants to encourage you to be like, okay, you can actually do this, girl. Like, you got this, you did that. And that is when spirit is breadcrumbing you. It's not a situation where it's constant. So if you have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to comment below. Don't hesitate to follow me on all my social media platforms. My name is @TheSpiritualBeautyQueen on all my platforms. And I'm just really looking forward to getting to know y'all and just, telling you more about spirituality, my personal experiences. And I'm really excited to have this platform to share these things. And yeah, y'all, just if y'all have any questions, please, again, feel free to, I don't know, just message me, just say something, just let me know what's going on. And then the next thing I want to announce is that February of 2023, I will be releasing my self-care box. And I'm really excited about this because I love self-care. I love taking care of myself, and I can't wait just to share that with y'all. Excuse me. I can't wait to share that with y'all in this journey. So definitely check out my TikTok weekly so I can update to tell you guys what I'm doing all the time in order to just do this self-care, and what I'll be putting in the box. You can find out my Etsy store. So I'll definitely put the link below with my link tree that has all my information. So that way you can just click the link. All right. So I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.